Then we'll see about the bronchogenic sequestration. This is the first pathology we'll be seeing. So bronchogenic sequestration is nothing but there is a extra lung tissue, and this condition is going to be congenital. And there are two types of this sequestration. Either this extra lung tissue can be present inside the lobe itself, that is called as intralobar, or it can be present outside the lung, that is extralobar, and most commonly the extralobar location will be in the left mediastinum, while inside the lung it will be in the left lobe. Okay. Then the most important thing to remember about bronchogenic sequestration is it doesn't connect with the airway of the lung, and also it doesn't have the common blood supply from the lung. So the major blood supply for this bronchogenic sequestration is a separate branch from the aorta. Okay, so these 2 points are the ones which you need to remember about bronchogenic sequestration. So next we'll see about acute respiratory distress syndrome. So it is also called as acute lung injury, shock lung, diffuse alveolar damage, or most importantly, hyaline membrane disease. This hyaline membrane disease, the name for this is got because of the formation of hyaline membrane in this disease. Okay, there can be various causes of this acute respiratory distress syndrome. The most common of which will be the septicemia. So especially gram-negative organism. So gram-negative septicemia will be the most common cause of this ARDS. Other than that, any toxin like smoke kind of toxin or endotoxins, any kind of toxins or drugs like chemotherapeutic drugs or any chemicals, all of this can irritate the lung alveoli, and that can result in a acute respiratory distress syndrome. So how will the patients present with? The patients present with difficulty in breathing, that is dyspnea, tachypnea, then hypoxemia, hypercapnia, cyanosis, and collapse also. So these patients actually rapidly go into death within a period of 1 month also. So that is why these people need lots of ventilatory support. So in COVID times also we had seen, so most of the cases were due to this ARDS. So what is the pathogenesis involved in ARDS is that when this toxin is coming, so when this toxin is entering through the blood, this toxin is going to damage the endothelium. So when the endothelium is being damaged by these toxins, it will cause coagulation cascade to start. So when coagulation cascade is initiated, it will result in the formation of fibrin, right? So fibrin will be formed, and this fibrin, along with that, when the endothelial injury is there, obviously inflammation will also be there, right? So neutrophils will be recruited to the site of the endothelial injury. So here comes the neutrophils. So these will be the neutrophils, and when neutrophils come, there will be lots of cytokine and interleukin productions. So neutrophils will further damage the barrier of the capillary wall. So this is the barrier which is formed by the endothelium here and the alveolar wall here. So alveolar epithelium and the endothelial lining, this together will form the wall. Okay, so this is going to be damaged by the neutrophils. So in this region, if you can see this part, the endothelium is damaged, and here in this part the alveolar wall is also damaged, both by this toxin and the neutrophils which were recruited. So all of this is going to result in edema. So the edema will be happening in the interstitium. So in between this endothelium and the alveoli, we are going to have the interstitial part. So in there is going to be accumulation of this edema fluid. Apart from that, these neutrophils which had damaged the alveolar wall over here, right? So what will happen here? It will be destroying the epithelial basement membrane of the alveoli, then the type 1 pneumocytes, and when this is happening, macrophage, the alveolar macrophages which are present over here inside the alveolus, they are also going to release certain cytokines, and this exaggerated inflammation is going to take place. So all of this is ultimately going to cause the damage of the alveolar wall. So when this is happening, what happens is there is formation of a pinkish material here on this layer. Okay, so what happens is this pinkish material is nothing but fibrin. So fibrin, which was derived from the coagulation cascade, along with this damaged necrotic pneumocytes and the inflammatory debris. So all of this together is going to form the hyaline membrane. Okay, so this is the pathogenesis of ARDS. And when this hyaline membrane is formed, the surfactant, okay, the surfactant, this is represented by this yellow color, this is the normal side. So the surfactant which was lining this pneumocytes is not going to be produced. So surfactant loss is there, and when there is any inflammation, there will be repair by chronic inflammation and fibrosis. So this pneumocytes will be repaired by the type 2 pneumocytes, and then they will also undergo fibrosis. without the surfactant and with fibrosis happening, what is the end result? The compliance will be lost. So the compliance of the lung, that is the expansion of the lung alveoli, will not be there. So this will result in the dyspnea and the hypoxemia which the patients experiences. So this is a very important thing. So hyaline membrane, what is the composition of the hyaline membrane? It is nothing but the necrotic debris which was composed by these pneumocytes and the inflammatory cells, along with the fibrin which was produced as a result of endothelial injury. So these are the components of this hyaline membrane.